The grand forum of the Aurelian Empire echoed with amusement. Crystal arches carried laughter from one end of the chamber to the other as holograms flickered above the obsidian floor. At the center hovered a single image, a ship drifting near the imperial border. Its hull was scarred, patched with mismatched alloys, its profile inelegant and asymmetrical. To the gathered nobles, it looked less like a vessel and more like debris that had learned to fly. Emperor Calrix reclined upon his levitating throne, 6 jeweled eyes fixed on the display. "This is what delayed today's council?" he asked, his tone bored. "Scrap metal wandering too far from its grave?" High Strategist Vorin inclined his head. "Our patrols detected it 3 cycles ago, Majesty. No known design matches its structure. Power readings are low. Weapons appear outdated." The laughter intensified. "Outdated?" scoffed Lady Sereth. "Those cannons belong in a museum." "The reactor is unstable," Vorin continued. "Barely sufficient for life support. Sensors show only 14 life signs aboard." "A refugee barge," someone muttered. Calrix waved a dismissive hand. "Why bring this to me?" Vorin hesitated, then expanded the image. Faded markings appeared along the hull, symbols, letters, a painted sphere of blue and green. "Because the archives recognized the insignia. This vessel belongs to a species catalogued centuries ago." The room quieted. "They call themselves humans," Vorin said. "Origin, a minor system on the galactic fringe. Our scouts visited their world 300 years ago. At the time, they had barely achieved orbital travel." Several nobles chuckled again, relieved. "Still primitives, then," Calrix said. "Yes, Majesty. The scouts deemed them irrelevant. No threat potential. No value beyond biological study." The ship's name translated across the display. "Warship, Resolute Dawn." That earned fresh laughter. "A warship." Lady Sereth laughed. "From that." Vorin lowered his gaze. "Records suggest humans name vessels aspirationally." Calrix smiled. "How charming. What are your orders?" Vorin asked. "Send 1 enforcement cruiser," the Emperor replied lazily. "Board them. Recover their data. If they resist, disable the vessel. Living specimens preferred." The council nodded, already losing interest. As the hologram dimmed, no one noticed the subtle fluctuation in the ship's power readings. No one questioned why a dying vessel had crossed half the galaxy. No one wondered why 14 beings would venture so far in something so broken. The Empire laughed. And in the cold silence of space, the human warship adjusted its trajectory and waited. Commander Alrex of the Imperial cruiser Glorious Mandate observed the target through reinforced viewports. Up close, the human ship looked worse than expected. Scorch marks layered over older scorch marks. Hull plates bore signs of repeated impacts and repairs performed without aesthetic concern. It looked like a vessel that had refused to die out of spite. "Life signs steady," reported the sensor officer. 14 clustered near the core. "Minimal shields," the tactical officer added. "Weapons inactive." Alrex relaxed slightly. "Open a channel." A beam of encoded signals lanced toward the battered ship. "Unidentified vessel," Alrex announced. "You are within Aurelian sovereign territory. Power down and prepare to be boarded." No response. Repeat transmission. Add linguistic extrapolation. Silence persisted. Alrex frowned. "Prepare boarding teams. 20 soldiers. Non-lethal preferred." The cruiser closed distance. Magnetic clamps extended. The moment they locked, alarms screamed. "Commander!" the sensor officer shouted. "Power spike on the human vessel. Levels impossible for their reactor type." The ship lurched. The clamps tore free as the human warship twisted with sudden, violent precision. Sections of its hull folded open, revealing weapon emplacements hidden beneath false plating. "Shields up!" Alrex barked. Too late. The first volley struck like a hammer. Kinetic slugs punched through energy barriers, followed by coherent beams that burned straight through armor. The Glorious Mandate shuddered. "Those weapons," the tactical officer stammered. "They're hybrid systems. Not Imperial. Not even consistent." A signal cut through the chaos. A human face appeared on the screen. Female. Blood streaked her brow. Her uniform was torn, her posture rigid with exhaustion rather than fear. "This is Captain Mara Holt of the Resolute Dawn," she said. "We are leaving. Do not interfere." Alrex sneered. "You are damaged and outnumbered. Surrender." Holt smiled faintly. "We've been outnumbered for a long time." The channel cut. Boarding pods launched from the cruiser anyway. What followed lasted 7 minutes. Screams flooded the comms. Soldiers reported targets that kept advancing after fatal wounds. Corridors turned into kill zones filled with smoke, traps, and close-quarters brutality. "They won't stop," someone yelled. One by one, life signs vanished. 20 soldiers became 0. Alrex stared at the tactical display, hands shaking. "Retreat," he whispered. "Full retreat." The cruiser fled, engines screaming. Behind it, the human warship drifted, weapons retracting, power levels falling once more. Captain Holt exhaled slowly. "Status?" she asked. 4 injured, her engineer replied. "Still alive." Holt closed her eyes briefly. "Good," she said. "Set course. We're not done yet." High Command did not laugh. Admiral Corvin stood before a wall of data, mandibles tight with disbelief. 20 elite soldiers, he said slowly. Gone. Analysts worked frantically, pulling ancient records and intercepted transmissions. "Humans originate from a Class 4 death world," one reported. "Extreme climate instability. Apex predators. High gravity." Images flashed: storms, volcanic eruptions, massive creatures with claws and teeth. "They evolved as endurance hunters," another analyst continued. "Capable of prolonged exertion, pain tolerance far exceeding galactic norms." Corvin's gaze hardened. Why were they misclassified? 3 centuries ago they had not yet expanded, the analyst replied. "We observed only early spaceflight. Their growth curve was underestimated." A new image appeared, the Resolute Dawn annotated. "This vessel was a colony escort," the analyst said. "Civilian by human standards. It carried families. It was attacked 2 cycles ago. Survivors adapted." Corvin felt cold. Adapted how? "They salvaged technology from hostile encounters. Integrated multiple weapon systems. Modified everything." A warning alert interrupted the briefing. "Fleet detection," an officer announced. "Human vessel entering the Caris Nebula." Corvin inhaled sharply. "Deploy suppression force." 12 warships. Inside the nebula, sensors failed. Communication fractured. Then ships began to die. The Resolute Dawn struck from nowhere, vanishing into radiation storms. Mines detonated where no ships should be. Boarding actions occurred in open vacuum. Humans launched themselves across space. Knives. Improvised charges. Relentless advance. "They don't retreat," a captain screamed before his channel went dark. Music flooded the comms, heavy, rhythmic, aggressive. It bypassed filters, vibrating through hulls and minds alike. By the time the fleet escaped, half were destroyed. Corvin watched the human ship emerge last, burning, barely functional, yet victorious. A transmission followed, translated automatically. "We are humanity," Captain Holt said. "We're going home. Do not follow." Silence filled the command chamber. Corvin turned to the Emperor. "Majesty," he said quietly, "we should let them go." The Emperor stared at the display of destroyed warships. "For the first time," Corvin added, "we have encountered prey that was never prey at all." Orders were issued. Borders withdrawn. Engagement protocols rewritten. Across the Empire the story spread. 14 humans. 1 warship. An empire humbled. The Resolute Dawn limped into human-controlled space 6 months later, escorted by vessels that dwarfed it in size and power. Massive hulls bristled with weapons the Empire had never imagined. Defensive formations unfolded like steel constellations. Captain Mara Holt remained seated as docking procedures began. She was too tired to stand. A familiar face appeared on the central display. "Captain," Admiral Reyes said gently, "welcome home." Around Holt, her surviving crew exhaled as one. 7 remained. 7 out of 14. "We received everything," Reyes continued. "Your logs. Your encounters. The galaxy has been listening." Holt swallowed. "Will they come after us?" Reyes smiled, thin and humorless. "Let them try." The feed expanded, revealing hundreds of human ships assembling beyond the station. Not hastily built. Not salvaged. Purpose-made. "Humanity has been preparing for contact since the first radio signal left Earth," Reyes said. "We hoped for peace. We planned for war." Medical teams boarded. The crew was led away, some crying, some simply numb. Holt lingered at the viewport, watching Earth rotate slowly below, blue, green, alive. Later, in the Aurelian capital, Emperor Calrix addressed a silent council. "The human region is now restricted," he announced. "No incursions. No provocations." No one argued. Across neutral systems, traders whispered about a species that fought while dying. About civilians who turned warships into nightmares. About music that played during battle like a promise. Some feared humanity. Others admired them. On Earth, monuments were planned, but Holt declined ceremonies. She returned to a quiet shore, watching waves crash endlessly against stone. "They don't stop," she murmured. The ocean answered by continuing its assault, unchanged for millennia. Far beyond human space, alien empires adjusted their borders and their assumptions. One truth echoed through every transmission, every analysis, every fearful discussion. Humanity was no longer hidden. Humanity endured. And the universe, laughing once, would never make that mistake again.